Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for clicking on 5 News Web News. It is Tuesday, March 26th. I'm Brittany Hoke.
And I'm Matt Heckel, and here are some of the top stories we've been following here on 5 News. Heavy, wet snow is likely to blame for thousands of power outages yesterday.
That's right. That's because it has more of a tendency to stick to power lines, and it actually pulled a line down and caused a transformer to catch on fire. Now, most of those people have been able to get their lights back on, but that doesn't mean that we're clear of problems just yet. If you drove around yesterday, you probably saw some snow still on those power lines, and they can easily come down. If you see a power line on the road, don't touch it. Just assume that it's giving off a charge. Now, you also need to call 911. That way, they can get that problem cleaned up.
We need to get police and fire out to the scene to secure that power line down, because if it is still charged, we don't want anyone around that.
And if you do lose power, here is a list of what you need to remember. The good news, if you lose power for less than 2 hours, you typically don't have to worry about your perishable foods because they'll usually last for that amount of time. Now, if you are worried about food spoiling, try and put it in a cooler with a lot of ice. It's also not a bad idea to have water and other supplies like a flashlight, a blanket, and lots of batteries. And finally, leave a light on. That way you know when your power is restored. Now, we'll have a list of more details and more tips on our website, WDTV.com.
Well, officials at the Department of Transportation are asking drivers to be careful after the rough winter has caused some potholes to be even worse this year. Asphalt plants won't open on a continuous basis until we have warmer days, meaning in the 50s or 60s. So that means highway workers can't go out and fill those holes until the plants open and the roads have a chance to warm up and dry out. DOT officials say they're getting a lot of calls right now from people asking to fix the roads, but that can't happen when the roads are wet. Because of the tough winter, our district's Division of Highways is about $1.2 million over budget, and this snow will probably push that number up an extra $40,000 or $50,000. The state will take care of some of that money, but officials say it'll cut into funds for road paving projects.
But a lot of it will have to deal with, roads not getting taken care of as far as the ones that we'd like to pave. We'll pave a lot of roads and do some chip and seal jobs, but it won't be near as much as we'd like if we'd had a real nice warm winter where we could have saved some money and been able to additionally, add to those road paving projects.
Now, officials say they will still do a lot of road paving and pothole filling, just not as many or as soon as they would have liked.
And 15 people are now facing drug charges out of Lewis County. The Lewis County Sheriff's Department, along with the help of the West Virginia State Police and the Weston Police, rounded up those 15 people from all parts of the county. The 14 adults and one juvenile, were the subjects of a more than 2-month-long investigation. Officers went out in groups throughout the morning in both Lewis and Upshur counties to find those 15. They're facing different drug charges, including selling heroin or meth to confidential informants.
We want to send a message loud and clear to the citizens of Lewis County that we're out here actively trying to curtail and eradicate drugs. And we want to send a message to those drug dealers that it's not going to be stood for. And if you're dealing, then we're watching.
And we do have a full report on yesterday's roundup on our website, WDTV.com.
Well, Italian Supreme Court judges ruled today that American Amanda Knox should stand trial again for the death of her former roommate in Italy. Knox spent 4 years in prison before an appellate court overturned her murder conviction in 2007 and the death of Meredith Kircher. She returned to the United States in 2011 and was not in Italy for the hearing. The court said the retrial will take place at the appeals court in Florence. She will not face trial again on a charge of defamation. Knox's family has previously said she would not return to Italy if the conviction is overturned. An attorney for Knox says she is, quote, shocked and saddened, but ready to fight. And let's take a quick look at what our newsroom's working on for tonight for First at 5 and 5 News at 6. First up, 1 in 3 seniors dies of Alzheimer's disease. What can be done to reduce those numbers?
Plus, Senator Rockefeller was in our area talking about keeping our kids safe online, how he plans to do it, and if you're sick and tired of coats and boots, well, you're probably going to have to wear them at least for a few more days. Your first alert forecast, though, is coming up tonight on First at 5 and 5 News at 6.
I heard the pain in your voice when you were talking about that.
Excruciating. I have sandals I want to wear eventually.
Spring's coming, eventually. It's coming. We just have to be patient.
As long as you say so.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Be sure to tune in tonight for First at 5 and 5 News at 6. Until then.
Have a great day, everybody.